Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 89th episode of the Spiritual Brainstorm. In this episode, I'd like to talk about beliefs and maybe tie them, explain how they're a filter for what you can express, what you tune into, and maybe see what is beyond belief and something that resembles more a sort of ultimate truth, which is beyond belief. So, as I explained before, um, my belief and the reason why I'm receiving the information I'm receiving is I'm believing there's nothing wrong with the universe or re- humanity for that matter, humanity. But I accept that change is, kind of a universal law in the universe. That's also a belief of mine. Change, nothing wrong with the universe and humanity. And therefore, the messages I receive confirm what I believe, obviously, because in the infinite number of parallel realities where there is something wrong with humanity and we destroy ourselves in climate change, um, that timeline exists, of course. That possibility exists. And the people that believe that are going to get that as information, as feedback from that timeline, and they will have proof that it's true. And of course, if I tune into a timeline where I believe there's nothing wrong with humanity, but we still, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be changing, then I'm going to receive feedback and information from that belief. And the reason I believe what I believe is I believe there's a reason behind it. That's also something, is that I believe that there's a reason behind everything, that everything has sort of a deeper meaning, which may not be apparent, but there is always a deeper meaning to things. And of course, again, I get confirmation of this belief. But say I had no belief, just a completely blank mind, open mind, then what information would I be getting? And that's, I guess, when you're in a no belief kind of state, then you are closest to what I would say is an ultimate truth. And the ultimate truth is that whatever you're saying in a given moment is shifting all the time depending on where you are in your evolution of consciousness, or who you are, the time, the specific situation. Just like a GPS will point you to a certain direction depending on where you are on a map, and not depending on some kind of belief, like saying that you should go north or you should go south or whatever. So, right now, I'm stuck in this paradigm. Of course, I believe there is a reason for that. And since I believe that, of course, I'm going to explain to you why. Obviously, I believe I'm stuck in this because humanity needs to hear it to stop hating itself, because too many people actually hate themselves, hate humanity for what it has done to the planet, hate what we're doing to animals, hate what we've done in the past, all the crimes, all the wars, and everything. And for some humans, I believe that they need to hear the fact that maybe it is unfortunate that we grew in that direction, that we called these experiences and had to live through these experiences for our own growth, the growth of our consciousness, but that ultimately, when you take a broader look, just like there are many things that can happen during pregnancy, and babies can have malformations, or plenty of things can happen. They can poison the mother if they're um, I think if they're like negative and the mother's positive, and they can like battle with each other. I mean, there's just so many things that can happen that are painful, unfortunate, catastrophic, but from a higher vantage point, we don't see them as good and evil, and we don't necessarily have this kind of self hate or hate kind of analysis. Like, for instance, if the baby is negative, the mother is positive, the blood, and they attack each other, and like the mother suffers a lot, and it goes through a painful birth and whatever. Once the baby's born, the parents typically, I mean, when they're sane, normal humans, they don't actually hate the baby for being negative. They don't sort of punish the baby for that experience. They probably shower the baby with even more love to try to console it, to try to make sure that it's reassured, and that the traumatic experience within the womb is kind of bypassed or um, transcended, let's say. So once you're in a no belief state, then what you're going to say is completely unrelated to any kind of um, like value judgment. And you could even say like something that is a lie, objectively speaking. Like, for instance, you could say to someone in the street, like, the sky is pink, but that phrase, by saying that phrase to that person, it reverberates into the future, like it has um, a consequence into the future on their life, which you just basically decided to be a messenger or a channel for that person's experience, like putting them back on their life path or whatever, or their deeper purpose. And it you really don't care what you're saying if what you say is true from a relative point of view. Like, for instance, is it scientifically accurate? Is it truthful? Is it nice? Is it this or that? You don't really care. You just totally, your mind is totally blank. And then whatever streams through your mind is tailored for that specific situation, that specific person. And what you're going to say, you may say something completely crazy, something completely idiotic, but to that person, maybe it has a deeper meaning. Or it is like a seed that you plant in their brain that is going to grow into something that is going to, that is going to have an impact somewhere in the future, that you would never understand or predict. And that is, I believe, like the ultimate stage for a certain number of people, where you're really the divine messenger, let's say. Because too often, when you have a belief about what a divine messenger should look like, then you think that a divine messenger has to deliver, big speeches about peace on earth or whatever, and talk to millions of people. But maybe a divine messenger is a bum on the street, which just by looking at you, transmits you certain unconscious information that is going to steer you in one direction in your life without even you knowing. And what makes it divine is that it is completely without any kind of self interest, because you don't even know what the way that you're going to act or what you're going to say, how it's going to affect the other person. You have no wishes for that person to be going well or not well. You have like no intention, nothing. It's like really completely blank. And the reason why I believe this is the higher or highest stage is that if you if you go through the zero or nothingness, or if you go through infinity, if you go through no meaning, or if you go through all meaning, that is the most divine way of doing things. Doing things for no reason, or doing things for every reason, which means no reason. It's the same thing. Um, and that is something extremely difficult. I think that's the ultimate sort of maybe stage. And it's totally okay to be in a state where you still have beliefs. The most important thing, though, is to be fully let's say, honest and transparent and forthcoming about what your beliefs are, so that the people that listen to you are aware that you're just tapping into one timeline in infinity where your beliefs um, steer you, or you get information from that timeline, and saying that please listen to me if you like what you're hearing about that timeline, if you think it resonates, and also be absolutely clear on your intentions of attracting people that need to hear what you have to say. And so instead of being a person that is a divine messenger all the time and just let whatever streams through you at every single minute of the day stream through you, and you just say whatever comes to you naturally with no belief, no filter, then you recognize I do have a filter. So please put me in situations where I'm a divine messenger, but I only want to deliver a certain kind of message based on my limitations. And the rest of the time, don't bother. Like just use me as a divine messenger only in these situations, because this is the only timeline that I'm sort of consciously tapping into, because for the moment I'm limited, and attract to me people that would resonate with that and that need to hear it. And so, what I'm saying, for instance, is that my vision of humanity and my beliefs, maybe it is a message that would have been delivered through somebody that has no beliefs at certain points, and then at other points during the day they would say something completely contradictory, because they would meet somebody else that needs to hear something else. And that is really, 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 really difficult, because, well, I mean, humans are goal driven. Obviously, um, I'm not neutral as far as what I would like humanity to experience in the future, what the future will be like. I'm partial. I'm still scared of death. I still want to have enjoyable experiences and not painful ones. um, but it's fine to be wherever you are in this sort of evolution towards a no belief state. And perhaps maybe I'll advance into that, and then my videos will be, I don't know what they'll be like at that point, because maybe I'll say things that contradict what I've said before, but maybe the people that will look at those videos will need to hear that message and not my other messages. Maybe I'll stop making videos altogether, because it's very hard to have control over who actually sees them. I mean, I don't know. It's really difficult to tell. And if you look at, for instance, Jesus and the way that he healed people, one way to look at it is that he didn't really heal anyone. He went to see people that were ready to be healed, wanted to be healed, their soul, their higher self, all of them, their entire being um, was willing to heal, and all they needed was this catalyst, this divine messenger, which was Jesus, which they instrumentalized for their own healing, and which Jesus instrumentalized for being recognized and having a as a healer, and by being taken seriously in terms of being a Messiah, a prophet, and his message to be carried over into the generations. And so that's how the divine works, is basically like putting two people together for a mutual benefit that neither of them really understands or controls, consciously at least. Like the people that Jesus healed probably weren't aware necessarily that that is what they were there for, and that they were just set up there for that reason. And Jesus also didn't necessarily know. But in the moment, you just do it, like get up and walk or whatever, and you're healed. When you're this divine messenger, you really let go of everything, and You let the no belief be your guide. And I think that's, I don't know if any of you have had that feeling, if you have experience with this. And, happy to hear your thoughts about this. So feel free to comment, and I'll talk to you in the next video.